Hey there, explorers, welcome back. Have you ever pressed your face against the car window on a road trip, or maybe stood at the bottom of a huge valley and just stared up at a massive mountain? They're these absolutely gigantic, mysterious rocks that look like they're literally scraping the sky. Well, today, we're looking at some amazing source material that reveals a hidden truth about these towering giants. Okay, let's dive into this and discover the secret job of mountains. It's a pretty great question to start with, right? I want you to really think about this for a second. When you see a mountain, what do you think it's actually doing? Are they just giant random piles of dirt and stone that happen to be sitting there? Or do they have a secret purpose? Well, our source material today suggests these massive structures are way more than just pretty background scenery. They actually have a highly specific, totally incredible job to do for our planet. To figure out their purpose, we can actually look back at some very ancient words. Psalm 90, verse 2 says, "Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever thou hast formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art God." This ancient verse is telling us that long before we were even here, these towering peaks were designed as tokens of our Heavenly Father's greatness and majesty. They're like ancient monuments, meant to remind us of the incredible power that shaped the entire world.
And wow, what beautiful monuments they are. The devotional text we're exploring paints this super vivid picture of these tokens of majesty. Actually, close your eyes for a second. Imagine the surpassing beauty of the mountains. Picture those towering peaks and sharp rocky heights. Imagine peering down into deep, shadowy mountain gorges. Now listen closely. Can you hear the rapid, noisy, rushing streams of water pouring down from the heights above? Imagine that water crashing and breaking as it strikes the rocks, scattering into the air and creating this soft, cool spray that hangs like a veil over the river. It's just a scene of absolute grandeur.
Okay, you can open your eyes now, but hold on to that image of the rushing water, because it leads us right to a very important word: reservoir. So what is it? A reservoir is basically a giant storage tank designed to carefully catch and hold water until it is needed. Think of those giant water towers you might see in your town, the ones standing high up on metal legs just to give water pressure to your house. Our source uses this exact idea to explain the secret purpose of mountains.
So, the crucial point is exactly this. Mountains are God's great reservoirs. Yep, they are the Earth's natural water towers. The great architect didn't just pile up all those rocks for no reason. He specifically built these lofty mountains to hold massive treasures of blessings. They are perfectly positioned to act as the Earth's giant storage tanks. But how exactly does a mountain hold water? It's not like it's a giant cup, right? Let's break down how this amazing system actually works, step by step. First, these lofty peaks reach way up and draw enriching moisture right out of the clouds. Their sheer height literally influences the climate. Second, they receive all those vapors as heavy rain and deep snow. They store that snow on their freezing peaks, kind of like a giant freezer. Third, as that snow slowly melts, it feeds bubbling springs, little rills, splashing brooks, and eventually roaring rivers. Finally, step 4, those rivers flow all the way down to supply the parched, thirsty plains below. They keep the oceans filled and water the whole Earth. It's an absolutely brilliant piece of engineering, honestly.
Now, imagine if we didn't have this system. What if we lived on a totally flat Earth? No rocks, no wild gorges, no plunging waterfalls. First of all, it would be pretty boring, right? But worse, without the mountains to catch and freeze the snow, the water would just wash away all at once. The plains would be totally dried out later on. Our source actually points out that anyone who wants to banish the rocks, the mountains, and the precipices from our Earth has senses that are just too limited to comprehend God's majesty. We desperately need a diverse Earth with mountains, plains, and valleys to keep the whole planet healthy and beautiful.
And all of this brilliant, diverse engineering points back to one thing. Just one great master worker who designed this incredibly complex, perfect water delivery system. The amazing diversity of the Earth's surface completely reveals his wisdom and his power. None of this is an accident, you guys. It's the deliberate work of a master designer who knew exactly what the Earth would need to thrive.
And why did he design it? To create fountains of blessings to supply all living creatures. Every single thirsty deer in the forest, every little bird, every fish in the river, every plant, and yeah, every single one of us humans gets a drink because of this giant water tower system. It's a very intentional design of love, making sure no living creature is left without the water they need to survive and play.
And this brilliantly illustrates the big emotional takeaway from our source material today. The author writes, "Every time I look upon the mountains, I feel gratitude to God. Because when we finally understand the secret job of mountains, when we see how they catch the snow and feed the rivers so that we can have fresh water to drink, how could we not feel thankful? The scenery shouldn't just make us say, wow, that's tall. It should make our hearts completely full of gratitude for the life-giving water we get to enjoy every single day."
So as we wrap up this explainer, we can see that the great outdoors is really the absolute best school you could ever attend. Nature's classroom teaches us so much, day to day. Just observing things like mountains teaches us about our Father's love for His creatures, His immense power in creating such massive structures, the fascinating laws governing nature, like the water cycle, and the very foundation of how things work in heaven and on earth. Literally every rock, tree, and rushing stream has a lesson for us, if we're just willing to pay attention.
So, my fellow explorers, I want to leave you with this final thought. What lesson of love will nature teach you today? Next time you see a mountain, or even just a picture of one, remember its secret job. Remember the giant water tower. I challenge you to go outside, look up at the clouds, watch the rain, and look for your own clues of the Creator's incredible love out there in the wild. Keep exploring, stay curious, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.